Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Nexus. Nexus is a repository management tool that has become an integral part of the DevOps toolchain and modern SDLC lifecycle. This tool is one of the best way to continuously control binaries, packages, and build artifacts. You can join our all training programs globally through online platforms, and if you're looking for classroom workshop, then we have regular batches available in Hyderabad and Bangalore. Check out the dates and enroll with us for our upcoming batches. For more info, link and contact details are mentioned in the description below.
Okay, so let's get started. First question is, what is Nexus? Okay, so let me store these notes somewhere on my desktop. Later on, I'll share with you through the GitHub. So Nexus is a repo management tool. But for what? For what? For the package binary, so here you can store in the Nexus you have a repository, multiple repository, but this repository is not something like a Git repository where you store the source code. This repository is basically for the packages, binaries which you build the packages and different kind of packages. The packages and binaries, maybe it is a typically we store jar, var files or something like that. Now you can also store like apt packages, you can store yum packages here, you can store also, let's say, the Android packages, npm packages and all stuff like that. You can also store Docker packages, you can store, so these are the NuGet packages you can also store. So different kind of packages you can store it here, different formats of packages. So basically, yes, Nexus is a repository management tool, and for the packages, okay, for the storing the packages, different kind of packages, and you can store this, you can store the binaries out here. Now this is developed by Sonatype. There's one company called Sonatype, and there's a this is developed in Java. So you know that if any software has been developed in Java, then you need a JRE JDK to run it. So that is what it's required. Now they have a two release basically. Okay, one release is a community version, and another release is like a pro version. Okay, professional version which we call it. Now these are the two release which we have. Again, professional version is a paid, and for enterprise. Now community version is, of course, it will be free, you know that, free, but very limited functionality. We have very limited functionality, limited functions. That is so if you go for the community edition, only you can store the Java based, Maven based repositories like jar, var and stuff like that. So this is the stuff. Now this is the small introduction about the tool called Nexus. Now next question is, why Nexus? Why do we need Nexus? Now to answer is hidden in your SDLC cycle. Now if you discuss about the SDLC cycle, in fact I have developed one URL for it, and if you can go to the DevOps school path, here it is. Okay, and select, let's say, any stack, let's say Java, which is very popular. So here you see we start the SDLC cycle with the understanding of SDLC cycle. Then we do the planning with different tool sets, we do the programming, then we do the source code versioning, we do the code analysis, we do the build management, we do the unit testing, then here we create a packages. Okay, and then here we do the storing the packages in a tools like Nexus, Artifactory and Kaiwa. Now when it comes for the deployment, we take the packages from the Nexus or Artifactory or Archiva and deploy to the multiple QA server, staging server, pre-production server, existing servers and so. So yes, this is the kind of things. So if you look at this, where the Nexus stand in SDLC cycle, it's basically for the repository management. Any kind of packages you can store it. So yes, this is one of the reasons where we store this, but there are a few other reasons which is also I must mention. One of the reason is like availability of package, availability of packages. So now when you store the packages in a tools like Nexus, this is available to entire team. Okay, so entire team, each each one of these members, it is available. It's not like, okay, someone is asking where is the packages, can you drop me an email, and follow-ups and stuff like that. It is available. If it's been uploaded, it is available for everyone in your team. So a coordination time is reduced because of this. Now security of the packages is also very important. Security of the packages, security of the package means only few person should be having the right access, only few person or few CI tools. Most of the times a CI tool will be having right access to the Nexus, but rest of the people will not be having right access to the Nexus. Why? Because security of the package is also a major concern. Now if you look at the kind of places we deploy our applications, most of the applications which we are using right now is a cloud based. Like you look at this nowadays, what are the kind of cloud-based application you're using everywhere? Make My Trip, yatra.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Swiggy. If we order Zomato, Ola, Uber, all these these most of the applications right now we are consuming is like a cloud-based software as a service. So security is very important. If one wrong packages get deployed into the system and into the operations and into the production, that will create a lots of problem. So not only the source code security is important, runtime security is important, but package security is also important. So that's one of the reasons where we can use Nexus, where the security can be enforced. Now another reason which I see here right now is durability of the package. That is also is important. Durability. So here durability. Okay, sorry if I make some typo mistake, please avoid it, because I just I have got a habit of maintaining notes and stuff like that, so I don't use slides and all. So yes, durability of the package is like something like the packages over the period, storage over the period of time will die. But if you store your packages in a tools like Nexus or Artifactory or Archive or something like that, they will make sure that the packages they store in a sort of object format, so that way they maintain the integrity of package. So that way over the period of time it will not get corrupted. So that is the things which will be taken care of by the tools which is Nexus. That's one of the reason. Now again, easy administration and maintenance, that's also one of the things which I believe you can get it. Let's say if you store the packages in FTP or shared drive, it's very difficult to administrate that shared drive or FTP. You cannot have a role-based access. You cannot give only read access, write access to the large amount of people in easy way. Okay, and again maintenance like a cleanup and a migration, restore, backup, it's become a very tedious task. Actually cleanup is very important now also. So these kind of activities, if you do admin activities like creating users, creating roles, groups, and assigning the privileges and stuff like that, role-based access, that is very easy in the tools like Nexus. And also maintenance, of course, is very easy. Debugging also easy. You can see lots of other features also, but because I'm not focusing on all the points of it, but these are some of the important points where we use Nexus for it. Okay, so now we discuss about what is Nexus. Next one is we discuss about why Nexus. Now next topic is other tools. Okay, other tools. What are the other tools we have? So in this domain there are so many tools are there. If you talk about Artifactory is there, and very popular. Archiva is there. In fact, NuGet Gallery also is there, though it stores the .NET packages. Chocolatey for the .NET Windows is very popular. Again, so different tools are there for storing the packages. Again, if you go to the cloud, again cloud-based applications you get it, where you can store the packages. But these are the very popular platforms which I have come across. So now we discuss about what is Nexus, why Nexus, and other tools. Now the question is how to install it. Okay, how to install it. So as I said here, it's developed in Java. So now when it's developed in Java, you need a JRE or minimum JDK, which has a JRE along with it. And then that's a prerequisite. Okay, apart from that, again, because the software is developed in Java, so you can install in Windows, Linux, Mac, any platform, because Java is platform independent. So any software which has been developed using Java, you can install and set up in any software. But today I'm going to show you the demo in the Linux, RHEL 7.6 or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to install the JDK or JRE and then install the Nexus. This is the stuff I'll do that. So let me start the demo now. So I need a machine, so let me get a machine here. And I should get EC2 instance. And here it is. I need a one RHEL AMIs. So I'm copying it, launching it. And I'll go for 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM. That's sufficient for my demo. But production grade instance would differ because you have a large servers requirements and stuff like that. Lots of repository and users you'll have to manage. So you have to go through that large setup. But because it's a demo, I'm going for 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM is sufficient, more than sufficient, in fact. So this is my this is my IP address. Now I'm going to use a putty. So let me get a putty. Here it is. EC2-user. See, I made a mistake. Okay, sudo-s. I become a root actually. I have a very bad habit not using sudo. Always I miss the command, so I become a root. But this is not a good practice to become a root and do installations. Now I have installations nodes already lying from the previous training. So rather than, in fact, you can go and check my blogs on devopsschool.com. All the documents which you can find it here, tutorial section. So probably some of you are already aware of it. So let me, I'm just looking for the installation documents. Sometimes it's become very difficult to find it because, okay, it's just too much of data. I'm avoiding it. Okay, let me quickly grab my notes, because the notes which I'm writing, which has the exact information which I needed. So go to the notes, go to the Nexus, I think it's here, and go to the last modified, which I did it, and I think this was the June 2019, August 2019. I think this will be much better. Here it is. So now I'm going to install the wget. After that, I'm going to install the OpenJDK 8. Here it is. Now installing it. Now its download is going on. And then here it is, extract it. Okay, one thing I did, I wanted to download inside the OPT because that is a good place. So let me download one more time. It's the latest version of Nexus which I'm downloading. Okay, and then untar it. Okay, so now here it is. So now you have this Nexus. Now you can go to the CD Nexus. Here go to the bin, and here start the Nexus. Start the Nexus. Simple. Now status, and it's running. You see it's running. It's cool. I don't know the port number. So where to get it? You go to the etc. There's one Nexus configuration file, and here you have 8081. So now my Nexus is running on 8081, and this is the things I am going to experience. Now let's get started. Here, this is the Nexus. You see Nexus repository manager. Here it is. Now let me log in. admin. Password is located at this file, and I'll just print it. This is the password, and sign in. Done. Now some setup wizards and all, you can set the password. So admin 123, admin 123, next. Done. So I set up the password here, and rest of the things okay. Now this is the story. So now what I did is I installed the OpenJDK 8 and then install the Nexus. Let me share with you the commands which I run in order to get the Nexus. And these commands which I run is, here it is. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the repository, because Nexus is a repository management system. So there's a types of repository, types of repository. Remember, I'm doing all this stuff using the admin account. So types of repository. Let me talk about the types of repository. So go to the setting button. You see here setting button, and you see here a repository. Okay, and these are the repository got created automatically. Default, you can create a repository here. Now this kind of repository you can create it. See here. Now if you want the list of it, I must mention the list of it. So let me go to the welcome page, and you see these are the kind of repository you can create it. Okay, you see here all this kind of repository. Though it got duplicated, I'll just avoid removing it, because now you understand that these are the repository kind of. Now each repository has, you go to the setting button, and we call it here. See, each repository has a type again. So these are the, let's say, type of packages in repository. We can say something like that. Okay, if you go to the welcome page, they call it repository format. Okay, this is the repository format, package in repository formats. Okay, now each repository has a type. Which type? Hosted. One is hosted, another one is proxy, and third one is group. So now the question is, what is hosted? So let me give you the quick glance of it. What do you mean hosted? Let's say there is a one team here out here in India. Okay, this is India, though this is not right depiction of the map, but just visualize it. This is the India team working somewhere in Bangalore or Hyderabad. Okay, and this is a US team. By the way, guys, we have batches which is got started, classroom batches in Hyderabad and Bangalore. So this is a every month we have these classes over there. So you must inquire about that as well. So recently we have taken this initiative to have a classroom also in Bangalore and Hyderabad. Okay, so this is the India team, this is the US team. Now India team is working. Now this is a repository. Let's say here it's a repository, and this is the Nexus actually. Here it's Nexus. This is Nexus. This is Nexus. Now, if India team wants to upload the data and download the data, so if they travel to USA for uploading and data and downloading the data, let's say it will take 5 minutes, okay, because of tenancy is very high. Now, if they download from their own local server somewhere in the same location, same region, maybe same office, then it will be very, the tenancy will be very less. So maybe that can be done in 20 seconds actually. So here you see it's taking time to upload and download the data because of the high tenancy in multiple minutes, and it could be seconds. So what is preferred? Of course, you should have the repository in local. So now this guy, India team, will set up a kind of repository here, hosted. So they will set up the hosted repository here, okay, because it's very easy to communicate. So hosted repository is basically read and write both, read and write, and you typically have it located in local, located nearest to a place from where you download, and upload. Okay, so it should be nearest, so that way you won't get waiting wastage and stuff like that. Now so same thing will be done by US team also. They'll have a hosted here repository. Now the problem here is that is okay, hosted repository is okay, near to your workplace, but there is problem. India team wants to access the packages of USA, and US team wants to access the packages of India. So how would make it? So in that case, they'll create a proxy repository. This is called proxy repository. So now this proxy, so this hosted will be cached to this proxy every time. So, and here you will have a one proxy. This hosted repository will be proxy to this one. So this proxy repository is basically from the remote repository, always created from the remote repository, which is located at the distance, and it's a cache copy of it. It's not having write access, only read only. Okay, most of the time. So it's a read only. So that way what happens, let's say you don't have to travel. If you want the USA package, you don't have to travel for this hosted. You can only get to your proxy repository and get it. And this cache will be done only once, but every people will download and download as many times you want it. So that way tenancy and broadband can be saved. Internet it can be saved. So this is a hosted, this is a proxy. And now what is a group? So multiple hosted and multiple proxy can be grouped together, and we call it group. So that way instead of, let's say you have a product which is having tens of repository unit, tens of libraries you need it, but in order to have a tens of dependent libraries, you have a 10 different repository, 10 different repository in hosted, 10 different repository in proxy. So now it's become a very lengthy program. You have to in your program you have tried so many repository URL. That's not good. So what you can do, you can club it together for your entire team and make it a one group, and group will have one URL, and that way they can dedicate. So here group is the third type. So did you understand that what I'm trying to say? Any questions, any doubts? Any questions, guys?
No.
Okay, so this is all about now this. So I'm going to do one thing, because I'm having the type, we have to select the type, so I'm selecting the Maven type. So I'm going to create Maven hosted repository. Now Maven itself have a two kind of release. One is a release and one is a snapshot. I hope you have gone through the Maven training already. So there is a two kind of release: Maven release type and snapshot type. So I'll create a two hosted. Now I'll create Maven proxy repo. Now proxy repo, I need a one remote repo. I don't have another Maven instance. What I can do, I can create, there's one public repository available, and that public repository is repo.maven.apache.org. So this I will use as the public repository, as a remote repository. So this I can use as a remote repository, and I'll have a Maven group actually. This will be having all the release type and all the snapshot type. So this is I'm creating right now. So let's get started. Go to the admin section. Here you get the repository. Here create a repository. Here I'll select the Maven hosted, which is here, and I'll name it DevOps School. Here release type, that way remember, and here it should be release, not snapshot. You can make it mixed also, by the way, and then create it. That is done. One work is done. I'll copy the URL here. This is the release type. Now I would create one more repository, but this time Maven hosted, but snapshot type. Why? Because that way I can delete wherever I want it. Any package. Snapshot, you know that you don't care about it after the testing is over. So that's the thing. Just a second, guys. Hello. Sorry guys, I was having some call, so I had to attend it. Okay, so yes, I created, I think, repo, and here it should be snapshot type, and create repository here, and snapshot type. Okay, so this is the stuff. Now, so I created just a second. Yeah, so I created release also, I created snapshot also. Now the next thing which I have to create is proxy repository, and for the proxy repository I'm using this remote repository, which is publicly available. In the Maven session, you know that what you did. So here create repository and Maven proxy, and I'll keep it DevOps school -proxy. Now this is the mixed, I'll make it, and here remote I'll keep it this one, and lots of settings are there, I'll just not important. And here proxy. Now proxy is also done. Proxy is also done, and here is my proxy repository. So now I got this proxy also. Now let me create a group of it. So create Maven group, and here DevOps school group. Here it is. I will add all of my repository only, snapshot and release. Done. And this is the group, and here group repository I'll copy. So everything we have it. Now this work is done. This work will be done by administrator. After that, you have to create a first you have to create a user and roles for accessing this repository. I can use the admin access also, but I feel like I should create a dedicated user for it. So how to create a user? So here you have privileges. Here you have a read, write, access. So many permissions, privileges been given. So these privileges you can add to the roles. Okay, roles. So now you have a roles, create roles, Nexus roles, and here let's say DevOps admin, DevOps school. Let's say deploy is a role. Okay, role name also I'll put it same thing. And now what access you want to do, here you can select all the privileges. By the way, it's very easy to do that, but right now I'll do NX all. NX all means everything, and you can spend some time and understand what read, write, access. You can give it update access, delete access, modify access, all this thing you have it here. And I created a role. So this role is created. NX DevOps school deploy. Now I'm creating a user of it. Now this user I'm creating here. So now user, I'll create deploy. Now deploy Kumar. Deploy at the rate of, or let's say email, you can keep it contact at the rate of DevOpsschool.com. And deploy password is deploy 123, deploy 123. Now status, of course, it should be enabled, and which is a part of this role, this role. So that way you get the access. By the way, so my access is username is deploy, password is deploy 123 with all the access which I granted, and create local user. That's all. In fact, you can authenticate with LDAP also. So right now I'll not complicate the process. So that's all. So see here, you got it done, all the required repository for the upload and download, and this you got the access also to upload and download. Now what you want to do? So of course, because I have created a Maven repository, so Maven repository you have to upload, of course, through pom.xml. So now ambient deploy, there's a things, let me put it in this way, how to upload artifact to Nexus using Maven. That's the one thing, Nexus using Maven. And then second question is how to upload a download, how to download a artifact from Nexus. That's a from Nexus. Okay, using Maven, because we are using Maven, though you can use the different types also. And again, many videos you have available on devopsschool.com/LMS, and you can find it. All these videos are available. Most of this, like you have the videos for APT, you have the videos for Git LFS, Go, Helm, Maven, anyways, NPM, NuGet also. Ruby gems, so many videos are available. You can check it out. In fact, my tutorials you can check it out on the devopsschool.com/blog and /tutorials for the different types. But right now we are using Maven. So what is the step number one? Step number one is modify pom.xml with repo location. That's the first step. Okay, and I believe you might have gone through the Maven training, so it's very easy to understand. Modify setting.xml with permission. Okay, and third thing, step number 3 is ambient deploy. That's a command. That's all. So you download this through this, upload this artifact through this 3 steps. Now what you need to do in order to download, modify pom.xml with dependent libraries which you want to download. Dependent download library which you want to download. Simple, which you want to download. Okay, and second thing, modify setting.xml with mirror. And third thing, do whatever you want. Maven compile in, you know that Maven very well, or test, whatever it's, or whatever it's, install or whatever it is, and then it will download from that repository. So let me do that, this one first. So let me check. Do I have a any Maven project? I think I have it. Here it is. Good. I don't know what is this file all about, but okay. Now this file you can download from the GitHub. So go to the GitHub. Okay, Maven, and here it is. This project I'm using. See, look at this project. By the way, you can use any Maven project, its behaviors will be the same, but for every project I have created a sample project. For every demo I've created a sample project. You can find it on the DevOps school, and many other handles also I manage. For example, DevOps school, DevOps Institute, DevOps School Classroom, DevOps School Lab Exercise Project, Sample Projects. So all these are handles which you can organization basically on GitHub, where you can find the lots of sample projects for my demo. So here it is. So I'm going to use this project, though I see that this project I've already cloned it. So let me do that. Modify pom.xml with repo location. So here pom.xml. Just a second. Pom.xml, here it is, and pom.xml, and modify the location. So what is this? This is your location of hosted, release type. This is a release. This is the snapshot. Okay, done. Now you must remember this ID is important. So let's say this ID, I will call it DevOps school. DevOps school. Okay, this ID is important. Okay, this ID and this ID must match in the setting.xml. So where is the setting.xml? So typically I install the Maven in C tools Maven and setting.xml under conf directory. So here you see, go to the area, the section called server, and here it is, not mirror. Here it is. So server, and I'm going to add one more. And here this ID must match. So here ID, let me close all the files here. I have to open up one more time, and here it is. Now I have to go to the E drive, Maven here. So the file is this one, or not this one, this one. And what is the username and password? Username and password is deploy and deploy 1, 2, 3. So guys, see here, modify a pom.xml with repo location done, modify setting.xml with the permission done, finally Maven deploy. So go to the command line, E drive, I think cd Maven, what is the directory name? It's hello Maven. So hello Maven and bn deploy. Remember here your project name is here yodel. I'll change this to the DevOps school version 2. Okay, done. So DevOps school version 2, this is the product, and you must know Maven in detail before Nexus. That's important actually. And I do the deploy. So last step. By the way, it's a release type. Remember, it's a release type. So it will upload into this repository. Now it's happening. Compilation, building the jar. By the way, these are some issues actually trying to download. So there's an old entry which I need to modify, and this old entry I will modify using this one. Okay, so I have to cancel this one. I'll tell you this what I did, because that is so that was trying to download, and that's the next topic of mine. So I'll talk about that one in some time. Now see, creating a jar file. Compilation is happening. Test is happening. Test is done. Java doc is happening. And you see uploading is being progress. Yes, it's done. Upload is done. Let me see that now. So where is my repository? So my repository is here. Go to the browse and here it is. See SCM Galaxy. Look at my pom.xml, com.scm Galaxy Maven sample. So here com scm Galaxy Maven sample DevOps School 2.0, and this is a jar file. So now I got this project built. Okay, this project got built. Now this is the way you can upload through Maven. Now next topic is how to download dependent libraries. So now I will create one new fake project. So I think I can see that from the last demo there's some directories already available. See here is there. So I can use this one. This is the complex project. Okay, complex project is dependent on, need to be dependent on, so on the DevOps project. So the DevOps project jar file is there. So now I will use this dependency here. Now you see dependencies. So this is the coordinates, Maven coordinates I'm updating. So group ID, artifact ID, and version, which is here. And this I think it's not required right now, not complicating. So basically what has happened, DevOps School project is dependent on a project called Compex. Okay, and because of that you see dependency, I matched it. So now it will try to download the packages. Now I think I don't need this. Okay, I need it because I want to upload this one also. So you can copy this, go to this, and yeah. Okay, so everything is okay. Dependencies, distribution, everything is okay. So now you see DevOps School is dependent on Compex. Compex needs that DevOps School libraries, and here I am going to build now Compex now. So go back, cd maven, cd Compex, and ambient deploy. Now one thing I must do that here, it should download. Remember I did this one and I did not do this one. First step I did it, modify the pom.xml with the dependent libraries, and setting.xml I did not modify. So but it will work if I do this Maven deploy. It will not try to download. Why? Because Maven automatically copies the files in the local repository, and it will try to use it from that place. So it will not try to download. You see, it did not download. Everything has happened and deployment has happened. You see, uploading of Compex has happened. Why? Because what has happened, the Maven, because I'm using both the download and upload in the same machine, so Maven has a default functionality in which they will try to copy all the build file, which is a DevOps School, which I built it last time, into the location which is local repository. So it used it from that location. So I need to go and manually clean it up. So com.scm Galaxy and Maven sample, and here DevOps School. I'm deleting here local repository. Now if I try to build, and here because of I'm building Compex release version, I have to change this, otherwise it will fail. So now I'm going to build it, deploy again, and now if you see it will try to download because I deleted from the local repository. Again I'm saying you need to learn Maven in detail in order to understand this behavior. So here you see here try to download that DevOps School packages 2.0. okay, from where? repo.maven.apache.org, which is not true. So why? Because see, it should download the artifact from the Nexus, not from the Maven. So in order to override that behavior, you should not go to the Nexus. You should go to the you should not go to the central repository, but you should go to the Nexus. What to do? For that, I'm going to use the group. Group has a proxy and hosted all of which. Where you want to do that? Modify the setting.xml with mirrors. So now let's go to the setting.xml, and this mirror I had commented it out last time. And here, this you move to here, and you see I modify this. You name it can be DevOps School because of the permission, and rest of the things let it be same. Now if you see, now if I build, now complex project will try to download the libraries from the Nexus. You see Nexus. Now Nexus has that DevOps School packages already, and Nexus has a cache proxy of Maven Central also. So they will try to download both the places from the group repository. Remember, group repository which represents all these repositories, and remote repository which is the Maven Central. So it is together. So they are trying to download. You see, all the download is in progress. There, it will take some time because right now these packages which you are seeing, it's coming from the central cache. You want to see the cache? Let me show you. Go to the browse and go to the DevOps School proxy, and you see they are caching. It's a one-time download, and after that every time people will use from this cache. So that way you can save lots of bandwidth and stuff like that. And you can see package has been built. Downloading again is, it'll take few times, not more, but downloading is happening. So guys, it will take some time, maybe a few seconds, but do you have any questions in between? Any questions, guys? DK, MS, J, DS? Oh, okay. Okay, so now you see build is successful. So guys, this is the story of Nexus. I discussed about what is Nexus, why do we need Nexus, how to install Nexus, and types of repository format, types of repository, and then we discuss about how to upload and download the packages with the Nexus using Maven. Okay, so now my name is Rajesh Kumar. You can reach out to me anytime to my with the detail which you can find it here, rajeshkumar.xyz. Here you can find my Facebook, email address, WhatsApp account, LinkedIn profile, and all. So everything you can find it here about me. If you have any questions further, you can drop me an email for it. If you are looking for the tutorials of mine, you can find it at these other places. Tutorials, slides, a lot of slides, you can get it here. You can find the PDF. You can find all the premium content you can find at the LMS, where you have all the videos and notes and sample programs and all this stuff. So you can find it at this place and get going. Okay guys, if you have any other questions, please ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to stop the recordings and I'm going to see you in the next session of devopsschool.com. Any questions?
No, we're okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone. Have a nice Sunday. Enjoy. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned from this video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Want to study further? Subscribe to our paid membership to get a deep dive into each and every topic. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our DevOps School channel and hit the bell icon to learn more. Keep learning.